You're listening to KEXP at 90.3 FM in Seattle, streaming worldwide at kexp.org. I'm Cheryl Waters here in the KEXP studios. Can't believe I'm going to say this, with the chills. This is very exciting. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's so wonderful to have you here. You have a new record out called Snowbound, and you're going to share some songs with us today. It's the Chills. Take it away. The Chills live on KEXP.
Strange scenes beneath the deepest of dreams, acted out inside the absence of light. They're so frightened but you won't hear the screams as they fight in the abyss of night. Huge things with teeth and great tentacles, needing smaller fish to feed on. But we plundered all their favorite food, so the giant ones will move on. Well, some people saw a plesiosaur, and someone thought they saw a sea serpent. I so wished a few a monster or two, but the sea is now uncertain. Cause we find a place beneath the waves when we have to hide our waste away. Find a place beneath the waves when we have to hide our waste away. Dragon nets across the bed, leave the ocean deserted. Dragon nets across the bed, leave the ocean deserted. Leave the ocean deserted. Leave the ocean deserted. Underwater wasteland. Underwater wasteland. Underwater wasteland. Underwater wasteland. Underwater wasteland. Underwater wasteland.
Oh, that was magnificent. Thank you so much. It's The Chills live on KEXP. A new record came out in September on Fire Records called Snowbound. It's such a wonderful record. It's bold, it's bright, it's warm, it's confident, rich arrangements, ringing guitars. I want to sing along to all the choruses at the top of my lungs. Martin, I read that you said that it was the best recorded Chills album. And if that's true, that's wonderful news. What makes you say that?
I think this band, particularly after working on the previous album, Silver Bullets, was very confident in the studio, and this time we chose to work with a proper producer, Greg Haver, who was a Welsh producer based in New Zealand, and we're just much more aware of making use of the studio to bring the Chill sound into reality, not be kind of swamped by the possibilities, which has happened in the past.
Tell me about this band. You sound wonderful together, and from what I've read, you've known many of these band members for a long time. It must feel good to work with people you know and that you've worked with before.
Yeah, well, certainly I'll quickly introduce them. Todd Knudsen on drums has been with me 20 years now, and followed very closely by James Dixon on bass, also 20 years. Erica on violin, keyboards, guitar, 15 years. Debatable whether we include the 2 years she ran away to America. And Ollie came in at that point 10 years ago, and so he's been with us ever since as well. So over half the history of the Chills has now been one solid lineup.
That's like a lot of family and a lot of love, and you can feel that love in this record. How did the band put their talents forward in this record? Was there a lot of input from everyone?
I guess the basic principle is I put forward a sketch and the band sort of interpret it their way. I'll still have kind of final say, but they know my weird instructions now. You know, if something is meant to sound like waves crashing on a beach or something, they'll know what I mean now. And I trust them a lot more now to give them a lot more room to move than perhaps I have in the past, which was naughty of me, I'll now realise. So it's just, we communicate much better, and it really shows in the new recordings.
And does that feel good to you?
Oh, certainly. It's much more exciting for me. And yeah, I mean, you get surprises, which is great.
You know, melancholy lyrics paired with joyous melodies and a sense of humor is kind of your trademark. And there's a lot of emotion in this record. And would you say that it's accurate that you sort of opened your heart out on Snowbound?
I think that's accurate that I did that as an adult. It's something I've always tried to do with my music, but I think particularly when you're young, you're trying out different styles, and they may not age quite as well, but I feel this is a pretty honest summation of where I'm at as an adult and trying to communicate with other people of my age group, any age group really, but those of us struggling to kind of come to terms with where we stand in very quickly changing times.
I've always loved your voice, and you talk about being younger. Of course, you've been doing this for so long, nearly 40 years as the Chills, and I was surprised to read in a recent interview where you said that you didn't know enough when you were younger to write in your register. So you write these wonderful songs, and then it's challenging for you to sing them. What's that like being on tour now? You know, people want to hear those songs.
Well, it would be great if it wasn't for the fact that our most well-known song, Heavenly Pop Hit, is one of the two most killer songs for my register. It is all up on the very top. And I still don't really know what we're going to do about that, but it brings out a kind of a drama to the proceedings, which is really good. So, yeah, we're kind of stuck with it. It's okay.
Yeah, the crowd loves it. Well, these new songs are so wonderful as well. You've said that Deep Belief, which I see you're going to play, is one of the most important songs that you've written. Why is that?
I don't think it's a secret that I've been dealing with. Went through a dark period with depression and drugs, and then found hepatitis C for 20 years. And it's about sort of all the preaching you'll receive, all the guidance you look for, and ultimately accepting that everyone's just got to follow their own paths and beliefs, and really you don't have the right to tell anybody what they should be believing, not with something as crucial as mortality.
Mm-hmm. I love all the songs on the record. Complex and Bad Sugar are a couple that I absolutely love, and I heard that you almost didn't even include them on the record. Was it because you had so many, or were you second-guessing yourself, or?
because of medication I was on for the hepatitis treatment, it was actually very difficult completing the album in time. And 2 of the songs in particular, including Complex, the band only heard a week before we went into the studio. So it was kind of a bit high pressure. And Complex in particular was kind of touch and go as to whether we'd realise the vision. And then all of a sudden, near the end, it really came to fruition.
Well, that's where working with these people brings the song to a new level for you. I also heard that it was a very rapid process in the studio, maybe different than you'd recorded before. Is that true?
We've never been known for having millions of dollars at our disposal for recording, unfortunately, but this was pretty tight. But again, having previously worked together in a similar situation with a similar budget, we work really hard and fast and don't waste time in the studio. And we did a lot more pre-production this time. So we kind of knew how far to push that and also how much to leave open for just kind of seeing what happened in the studio. And it worked out really well.
I agree. You've been followed around for over 2 years by a film crew. And that film, I do believe, is premiering tomorrow night at South by Southwest in Austin, The Chills, the Triumph, and the Tragedy of Martin Phillips. And I'm curious how that came about and what sort of input you had into it.
It would be the 4th or 5th serious attempt at a documentary on the Chills, and generally due to budget problems, they've fallen by the way. That did benefit this one because there was that footage from the initial ones, but it just seemed now, particularly with the possible issues of my mortality and so on, that now is the time or never to do it. I basically said, I'm going to be as honest as I can. I will have the right to veto things which are inaccurate, but I will not interfere with what other people have to say, their recollections, even if I think they're wrong or even if I know they're wrong. but it turned into a really long, rewarding process. Obviously, opening up some old wounds, a bit of healing, a bit of soul searching, but from what I've seen in the movie, not quite complete. It's certainly more than a standard rock documentary and is actually quite a powerful movie.
So will you see it in Austin, and will that be the first time you've seen it complete?
I've seen a sort of a 95% complete version, and the band haven't seen anywhere near that. So we're all going to be sitting there sobbing our little hearts out and then be expected to answer questions. So it's going to be great.
Well, I'm glad it was a rewarding experience, and it's so rewarding for us that you're making new music. Absolutely love Snowbound, and I'll stop talking and let you all play some more. It's The Chills live on KEXP.
I was tired out, not running at all. I was hiding, guarding my hole. I was tracked down, backed against the wall. Now do I believe, do I believe? Some believe, some believe, some believe. I was headstrong, felt nothing was wrong. Then I saw a sunset come creeping along. So I prayed, some days, sort of. Do I believe? Do I believe? Some believe, some believe. Some believe, some believe.
That was so lovely. It's the Chills live on KEXP.
Well, I'm not in love with anyone. I can fall in love with you. I have no patience for anyone. Lots of time for you. Because it's so beautiful. Why aren't you mine? 'Cause it's so beautiful. Why aren't you mine? Oh, you're so beautiful. Why aren't you mine? Oh, you're so beautiful. Why aren't you mine? I've got nothing to say to anyone. I lay my mind to you. Got nothing to say to anyone. We can rarely talk after. Got nothing to say to anyone. Except to you, I love you. Because you're so beautiful. Why aren't you mine? Oh, you're so beautiful. Why aren't you mine? Oh, you're so beautiful. Why aren't you mine? Oh, you're so beautiful. Why aren't you? Why aren't you mine?
You're listening to The Chills live on KEXP, the new album Snowbound. One last question before you go. There are so many people, so many fans that are so excited that you've been making music the last few years after a 19-year hiatus. How does it feel to bring the Chills story up to date for you?
It's such a huge relief, it really is. I didn't want us to be judged on the catalogue from the 80s and 90s, and I think we're nearly there. I think we've kind of been bringing the Chill sound up to date, showing what it can be, and I'm really hoping the next album is going to be a real step into what it should be, if you know what I mean. So it's great, and it's been great catching up with all these people for whom the music has meant so much all these years too. It's been really touching, this tour, for all of us.
I imagine so. It's touching for me as well, and I bet you're gaining so many new fans as well. I mean, your music is so present for today. It's so fresh sounding, and it's fun to think of new people discovering you with these new albums.
Well, it's interesting because there's all the old fans, and there's a bunch of younger people coming up who've heard it through their parents' collections or other bands name-dropping us and so on. And yeah, obviously we want that to continue. So it's a good place to be.
Well, thank you so much for coming by. We hope to see you on another album in the coming year or two, and it's such a pleasure to meet you all.
Thanks very much.
You've got to tune to KEXP Seattle. Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.